Good morning, everyone. I am Professor Anubhuti Yadav, and I'm heading the Department of New Media at IIMC. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you who are connected with this Facebook Live. I know that all those students who had given their CUT exam, PG CUT exam, they're waiting for their registration and counseling. And at IMC, we'll be starting this on 28th May, registration for counseling. And this year, we'll be starting one new MA program, which is MA program in New Media Communications. And we've been getting a lot of requests from students as well as parents about this course. In fact, a colleague of mine did live session a few days back. In that, also there were questions which were asked about, this MA program. So we thought that we'll have one live session with all of you about this MA program, and whatever questions you have related to this particular course, I'll be answering those questions. But before that, I'll take you through, the syllabus, and before that, why we have started this MA program in New Media Communication. We'll be talking about, the objectives of this particular course. We'll talk about, and I'll take you through the detailed syllabus of this course. And then, of course, like we'll be talking about, the eligibility criteria and who all can participate in counseling for this particular course. And then, of course, like the pedagogy which we are going to adopt to transact this particular course. So, as you all aware, those who are like connected with IMC and those who aspire to be a student of IMC, last year we started two MA program. One was MA program in Media Business Studies, and the other one was MA program in Strategic Communication. And this is the third MA program which we are starting this academic year, which is like 25, 26. So see, the reason why we are planning to start this particular ME program is because if you look at media and entertainment sector, and here I would like to emphasize that I'll keep talking about the media and entertainment sector because we strongly believe that the mass communication is not limited just to journalism and PR. There is much more to it, and that's why I'm talking about this media and entertainment sector. And we know that there is like major transformation which is happening in this particular sector, and the reason this transformation is happening is because of the new digital technologies which are coming up, and because of these digital technology or digital media, the way the content is being created, the way people are consuming that content, the way the content is being disseminated, and the way the content is being monetized, everything is changing. And I think that's why when we talk about new media communications, we need to rethink the way we teach media as a subject, mass communication as a subject, because we need to incorporate all these aspects in that. And that's why this course, new media communication, the whole idea is to introduce students to the conceptual framework around this particular course. Also, like develop amongst them the skills, the practical skills, so that they can navigate this particular space, they understand the space, and they also contribute to this particular field constructively. And also, if you look at media and entertainment sector, and I'll talk about the latest report by Ernst and Young. Now, if you look at that particular report, this is a huge market. This is a huge industry, and if you're talking about this is like 2.5 trillion industry. So like it's huge. The scope is a lot. When you get entry into this particular industry, in terms of if you talk about rupees, I mean it's like 2,50,000 crore industry. So you can very well imagine the scope and the job opportunities and the avenues. Now this year this industry had seen 3% shift increase, and of course like in another like 5 or 6 years, like 2007, it is expected to grow by 7%. So, and the most important thing is like the growth which is happening in this particular industry is happening because of digital media. And this is the first time this has happened in the last 20 years that if you talk about media and entertainment industry, the largest segment as of now, today, is like digital media or new media, which includes digital media and online gaming. So uh, till now, television was like dominating this particular field. But right now, I think digital media is the largest segment, and like the 41% revenue is coming from digital media. So you can see the scope. You can see like the kind of growth which is happening and how digital media is driving growth in media and entertainment sector. And this growth is actually happening because of our digital media or digital India initiative. In India at this point of time, we have around 562 million people who have access to smartphones. More than 900 million people have broadband connections. The data plans are very cheap, so this lot can happen through these small screens. So that's the development which is happening. And of course, like digital India initiative have actually given push to this particular growth. And in fact, like you have platforms like YouTube, Instagram. Of course, like they see a huge market in a country like ours because of the sheer number. Now, if you talk about this shift, this is not just a technological shift which is happening right now. So this is like a social shift, the economical shift, and also like cultural shift. And in fact, I was in Mumbai a few weeks back. We were there, attending Wave Summit, which was World Audio Video Summit. And there, everybody was talking about creator economy, which means like nowadays, because of these small screens or because of like digital media platforms, everybody has access to the technology. And since they have access to technology, they can create content. So there used to be a time when someone had to create content or disseminate content. They used to depend upon, all those media conglomerates, like all those media houses. Not anymore, in the sense that nowadays every person who has access to smartphone is also roaming around in a way newsroom in his or her pocket, because that individual can create content, that individual can publish content, disseminate content, and also like they can monetize that particular content. Now, in India, at this point of time, we have around 2.5 million monetized creators, which means these many people are creating content, and not just creating content out of hobby, but they're also like making money through content. So creator economy again, like is like something which is happening right now. And of course, like the government of India is also giving a lot of push to this. Before Wave Summit, there was this one conference wherein the government has actually announced that they'll be investing around $1 billion in creator economy, which means a lot of facilities to the creators, upskilling programs for them, creating facilities for them, for example, co-working spaces and all. So this is something which is happening. Also, at this point of time, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, they had released a report wherein they're talking about new job opportunities which are coming because of these digital platforms. For example, the job roles like content specialist, or digital content specialist, or creative technologist, or media analyst, platform specialist. I mean, we haven't heard of these particular job roles before, but just because the development is happening in this particular field, lot of new jobs are being created, and that's why we feel that there is a need for a course in new media communications. Also, if you're talking about India and like India's capability at a global level, at this point of time, a lot of content is being created in India, especially like when you talk about animation, when you talk about visual effects, and a lot of content is being developed for Hollywood blockbusters. So this is something which is happening. We are providing a lot of content. In fact, like more than 100 countries, they are watching content which is being created in India through OTT platforms. So It's not that the way you create content, and that is something that has been revolutionized, but the way people are consuming content. We had never thought of this before, that 100 plus countries might be watching our content. So that's another thing which is happening. And as I said, like in Wave Summit, we were all talking about the India positioning itself as studio for the world, which means creating a lot of content. And of course, like when you're talking about this course, so in this course we are actually looking at the careers wherein we are talking about connecting creativity with commerce, connecting storytelling with strategy, or connecting local stories with global audiences. So that is what we are actually looking at when we are talking about this course in new media communications. Now, and this is just an overview of the field, what is happening, and why we had arrived at this idea that we need to start an MA program in new media communications. Now, what I'll do is I'll take you through specific objectives of our course. Um, but in between, if you have any questions, please keep on writing in the chat box. Maybe like after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I'll take those questions. And but I wanted to tell you about the course first, and how we have designed the course, what all we are going to offer in the first year, what all we are going to offer in the second year, and what is the pedagogy which we are going to adopt. So if you look at the specific objectives of the course, and this is something which we have uploaded on our website also. See, one, as I said, to provide the conceptual and historical overview of the evolution of media and communication technologies with focus on digital transformation, especially in Indian context. And this is something which we are going to talk about. Second is to examine the impact of digital platforms, mobile technologies, and AI on content creation, distribution, audience engagement, and monetization. So that would be the second objective of the course. We'll also introduce our students to creators economy, exploring the convergence of content, commerce, and culture. Creators economy, or you may call it orange economy. And of course, like when you're talking about the content, culture, commerce, these are the three major pillars of creators economy. Then we'll also develop practical skills among students in content strategy, social media management, audience analytics, platform optimization, and digital storytelling. And then of course, like when a lot of things are happening in any areas, there are issues related to ethics also, there are issues related to regulation also. So we'll also critically evaluate the regulatory frameworks, ethical issues, and socio-cultural implication of new media, which includes like inclusion, localization, algorithmic biases. So these are the things which we are going to talk about. And then we'll prepare students for the emerging careers, like the careers or like the job roles, which I've already told you. So these are the course objectives, and this is something which we have in mind when we are talking about this course in new media communications. Now, see how we have designed this particular course. We've followed a national education policy, and as per national education policy, like you have to offer course in, of course, like the semester wise, but you need to put it in, 4 different buckets. So we'll be offering course which is like discipline based core course, which is a mandatory course, which means all the students who enroll for MA program in new media communications, they have to take that course. Then we have discipline-based, core electives, which means it is related to the discipline, related to the area which you are, studying. But still, in that you'll get a choice, and I'll talk about, how we are offering those choices to our students. And then you have open elective interdisciplinary courses. NEP says that the courses have to be interdisciplinary. Students have to learn from other departments also. And of course, like this whole point that the knowledge does not exist in isolation, right? It does not exist in silos. Everything is connected with each other. And that's why, a student of media need to know about political science, they need to know about sociology, they need to know about science, what are the different developments which are happening, they need to know about culture, they need to know about fashion. So these are the areas which they need to explore. But since this is a course on communication, so what we're going to do is that we're going to introduce them to that whole concept, but we'll also look at that subject from the communication lens. So that is how we have planned it. And I'll tell you like in a while, what all elective courses do we have and why we have selected them as, elective subject for our course. And then we have mandatory elective, though it's a non-credit course. But since students put in a lot of efforts and their time in doing and pursuing that particular course, so we are offering 2 credit for these courses also. So this is how like the 4 buckets which we have decided for our 2 years program. Now, coming on to the semester one, I won't take you through the entire paper, but I'll tell you like what are we offering in that particular paper. For example, in semester one, we have a course which is called Communication in Digital Age: Concepts and Theories. Now, there are students who will be coming from journalism background, but we are also taking students from data science, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity background, computer science background, and applied arts background. So these are the students who might not be aware, or they might not have studied, a communication course or mass communication course earlier. So it's an introduction to this field, but at the same time introducing them to the latest trends, something which is happening right now. And also, the focus would be on, a lot of theories related to digital. For example, we'll be talking about network society, we'll be talking about participatory culture, we'll be talking about, technological determinism. So we'll talk about algorithm, we'll talk about attention economy. So these are the things which are happening right now in digital space. And, the student need to know and understand, all these aspects. So this is something which will be there in the first semester, the first subject. The second subject would be understanding new media. Whenever you talk about new media, of course, like the different terms are being used, and many a times these terms are being used interchangeably. There are certain people who call it new media, some call it digital media, some call it convergence media. Sometimes, the newness in the new media is contested. But we'll be talking about, all these concepts, all these terms in detail. And of course, like then we'll be talking about, the platforms, different platforms, how they work, how they function, the algorithm behind that. So the technology part of, all those media platforms, that is something which we are going to discuss. And of course, like the intersection between the technology and society, those issues will also will be taken in this particular paper. Then the third paper, it's a very important paper in today's time, and this is media literacy, fact checking, and verification. Because like all of us, we are consuming a lot of media content, and the whole idea is like we should be able to consume that content in a responsible way. At the same time, when we are creating content, we should create content in a responsible way. So we'll be introducing the whole concept of media literacy, what exactly it is, and the different principles of media literacy. And then we'll come on to a very important part of media literacy, which is fact checking and verification. You might have seen that at this point of time, there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation across the world. Um, Whenever something happens, we just witnessed, Operation Sindoor. At that point of time, we have seen like how, misinformation and disinformation was traveling and was circulated on social media platforms. So introducing students to this whole concept of, misinformation, disinformation, this ecosystem, why people are creating that particular content, the psychology behind it, and then the practical aspects of it, which means how to fact check content, whether it's visual, whether it's audio, whether it's video, whether you're talking about fact checking different locations, when you're talking about cyber safety. So these are the issues which will be part of this particular course. Now this course, of course, like Department of New Media is offering this course in other MA programs also. So last year we did this as an elective for business studies also, and then for the strategic communication also. But for the students for new media communication, I mean, this will be the core subject, because we feel that at this point of time, this is an important topic, and every student need to know this particular subject. So these are like the discipline based core courses in the first semester. Then you have discipline based elective. Now, when you come to IMC, like, you have a few things in mind before you join IMC. Either you would like to have a career in a field of journalism, or you want to get into public relations, or you want to get into corporate communications. So what we had done in this is that, in the first semester only, like, we're actually giving you two tracks. So which means, those who are interested in journalism, they can, opt for online journalism course, and those who are interested in public relations, advertising, and corporate communication, they can opt for a course which is like digital marketing, PR, and corporate communication. So in both the courses, like, there are two tracks, there are two different subjects, but first, like, we'll be introducing them to the entire industry, the whole concept of journalism, or like advertising and public relations. And then the focus would be more on, how to use digital technologies, digital tools which are there available at this point of time, in these particular areas. Say, for example, how to run digital campaigns, ad campaigns, how to create, digital strategies, how to do social media monitoring. So that would be part of these particular courses. But uh, early on, we'll try and find out, what are the interests of our students, and accordingly, we'll be offering those subjects. Then open elective, we have educational communication and technology. Then we have development communication, and then Indian knowledge system. Educational communication and technology, you had seen EdTech market. A lot of people who have started this EdTech companies, they require workforce who can create a content for them. So that's why we felt that educational communication and technology will be a good course. And of course, like, for this course, will be partnering with the organizations like CIT, NCRT, because they create a lot of educational content. And even in the government sector, there are a lot of jobs when it comes to educational communication. So you might have seen, like, there are a lot of educational channels which are there. So where do they get those workforce from? So if, like, our students trained in this particular area, so they do have job roles or job options there in the education sector also. Then, of course, like, development communication, which is an important area. Indian knowledge system will be talking about that, and as part of NEP, it is mandatory for all the courses to offer this course in Indian knowledge system. And we know that our country is a very culturally rich country, and there's a lot for all of us to learn in this particular course. So we are offering this. When it comes to mandatory elective, we have one course on digital photography. So that is one course which we are going to offer. And the second course, and this is like, very few journalism or media institute, they might be offering this course. And this course is like non-violent communication and emotional well-being. So at this point of time, we know that everywhere, if even if you are there in the field of communication, you need to think about, how to communicate, in a sensible way, and this is what this course will talk about, non-violent communication, the concept of ahimsa, and emotional well-being at this point of time is very important, and we'll be talking about this. So I'm telling you all the courses, but you have choices. You want to take digital photography, you can take that. You want to take non-violent communication, you can do that. So when we talk about pedagogy, I'll tell you like how we are going to transact these courses. Then second semester, now this entire semester is for 22 credits. Second semester is like digital storytelling and multimedia content creation. So we talked about, content creation, creating content in wide variety of formats. So, in this particular course, a lot of focus would be on creating content in different formats, whether it's shorts or whether it's reels, and that too in a professional way. Um, Audio content, visual content, immersive content, using maps to tell stories. So whatever like the new things which are happening in the field, we have incorporated that, and you'll be introduced to that particular thing, which includes your podcast also, which includes your mobile journalism also. Then the second paper, these are all mandatory paper, is data journalism and infographics. We know that at this point of time, when if someone is doing a course in media, that person is not just a communicator. That person is also a data analyst, right? You need to mine data. You need to understand, what that data says. So we have one full paper on, communicating with data. Of course, like, you have to be good with numbers to do that particular course. But even if you don't like those numbers, we'll make you understand numbers, and maybe like towards the end of this particular course, you'll start liking numbers. So that's another course we have. And then the third course, something which everybody is talking about nowadays is artificial intelligence and prompt engineering. And of course, like some of the institutes have started the course, but it's not a full-fledged paper. So which means you're only talking about, generative AI. But in this case, we'll try and cover this particular paper in detail. Uh, Prompt engineering, how to write prompts for text content, for audio content, for video content, and what are the other use cases of that. And this is the new paper which we have introduced, and this is the paper which we do not have in any of our courses. Of course, like little bit of artificial intelligence might be there, but as a paper, I mean, this is something which we have as a mandatory in new media communications. Then again, in second semester, we have discipline-based core elective. In that, we have media laws and ethics, which is very important for all of us to understand. And especially like a lot of things are happening, developments are happening in digital space. So new regulatory mechanism, and that is something which we all need to know. Then we have another course, which is like digital diplomacy. But yes, you have a choice. You can choose any of these courses. Then again, interdisciplinary, we have science communication, we have political communication, we have e-governance. E-governance, as I said before, like Digital India had played a very important role in giving push to, all these new developments which are happening. And of course, like all the departments, they are supposed to train their staff in, e-governance. And there are a lot of e-governance initiatives where, a lot of jobs are there. Political communication, in the past, and in the past few years, we have realized that a lot of political parties, political candidates, they end up taking students of communication to, to help them in campaigning, creating, their campaign, digital campaigns, social media monitoring. So there's this huge scope there. And then, of course, like the science communication, because a lot of developments which are happening in the field of science, and of course, like if you need to communicate that development to the masses, it has to be simplified, and you have to tell those stories to your target audience. And then in mandatory elective, we have grassroots comics journalism and presentation skills. And again, in this, grassroots comic journalism is something which is not there in any other course, and this is something which we have included. So as you know, that AVG sector, which is like animation, video, VFX, gaming, comics, I mean, that is something which is like doing extremely well. So we need to have students in that sector also. So that's another area. Coming on to semester three, we have one paper which is media entrepreneurship. Of course, like when you're talking about, all these startups, new companies which have been set up. So how do you, start that company, and how do you, the human resources, marketing of that particular company. So like the entire thing will be covered in media entrepreneurship. Then we have one full paper on creator economy and influencer marketing. As I said, creator economy, orange economy, very important. If we are saying if the government of India is investing $1 billion in this particular industry, you can very well imagine like what could be the scope. So we are not expecting that the students should join here so that towards the end of the program they'll get some job. We expect that they should start something of their own. So the focus would be on that. And then of course like those who would like to go for higher education, then we have this communication research. Again, in this the focus would be on the research in new media space, research on social media. So that is something which we are going to look at. Again, discipline-based core elective in semester 3, we have CMS, which is Content Management System, digital publishing. If you want to create your own online platform, whether it's like to deliver content or like for e-commerce, so you should be able to, work on that. So the CMS, like there are different CMS available. Using that, you can, build your own digital product. But again, in this, like we also have another course which is like coding for communicators. Coding is another skill which most of the communicators should have. But just because some students, they do not have that much of interest or patience to learn coding, that's why like we had given a choice between CMS and the coding for communicators. The idea behind both the courses is that they'll be able to build digital products using this. And then open elective disciplinary, we have sports communication, we have health communication, we have understanding media and communication globalization in Indian context. And then for non-mandatory elective non-credit course, we have cyber safety, mastering Boolean queries. Now, this also you might not find in other courses, but at this point of time, searching content on internet, in itself is a huge task. So how do you search content? What are the Boolean queries? So what are the search operators? What are the different skills and strategies? So that is something which we are going to talk about. So this is about semester 3. And the semester 4 will be talking about storyboarding, scripting or animation. Then we have 2D and 3D animation, and of course like augmented reality and virtual reality. And then of course like if you are interested in research, you have to do a research report. But if you are interested in building products, then you will have a capstone project for that. So you'll be making certain AR, working on certain AR or VR projects. So that is how we have given two tracks in this also: those who are interested in research and those who are interested in the practical aspect of new media or creating certain products. Then in this also we have discipline-based electives, which is data analytics and design thinking. And then when you talk about open elective, we have defense communication. You've seen at the time of the Operation Sindoor how important it is for the defense forces to have a robust communication system. So we'll be talking about that in detail. We'll have cultural communication as another paper, fashion communication as another paper, elective. So depending upon your interest, you can choose any one of these. And then mandatory non-credit, we have media, society and culture, and writing policy and research papers. So this is like overview of the course. Like I've not told you people in detail like what we have in all the papers, but of course like whenever you'll come, you'll join, and when you look at the syllabus, you'll get to know that particular thing. So now about the course, in the sense that the admission process of that. I've not seen your questions. First, let me go through all these things and then I'll take all the questions, one by one. Now, MA in New Media Communications, the questions which came to me earlier was that you already have a PG diploma in digital media, and now you're starting a MA program in New Media Communications. So what happens to a course PG diploma in digital media? Both remains, in the sense that if you as NEP says that there's a possibility to exit any program, or like flexible exit or flexible entry. So for example, if you plan to exit after 1 year, so you get PG diploma in digital media. Now the course content of PG diploma in digital media, which is like the first year of your MA program in new media communication, is almost like with few addition is like what we were offering earlier. So that is one. And of course, like if you get into the second year, then the other things like your AR, VR, animation, gaming, that will be the part that will come in the second year. So that's how we look at it. So both remain, but the thing is that what we have done is like we have combined both the courses, and eventually like we have to do with all the PG diploma courses in the sense that there will be a possibility once like students they'll complete their 4 years of undergrad program, so in that case we might have to offer them 1 year master's program. So this is like we are moving towards that, but in a phased manner. Now, coming on to the seats which we have in this course, we have 30 seats in New Delhi, Jammu, Aizol, and Kottayam campuses. So in all, 120 seats and 30 in each center. So we'll be offering this particular course in New Delhi, Jammu, Aizol, and Kottayam. And these are the places where we were offering our digital media course also earlier. Now, who is eligible for this particular course? Of course, like those who have done their bachelor's degree uh, and in any discipline with 55% of marks with CUT PG scores, right? So now, one very important thing which I would like to share with you, and you can share it with your friends also, the reservation pattern in this reservation as in like the streams where the students will come from. So we have 15 seats for mass communication and journalism students, those who have done this particular course or given this particular paper. And then 5 are reserved from the students of data science, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. 5 reserves for computer science and information technology, and then 5 reserved for applied arts. So this is like the reservation, but if in case we are not able to fill up the seats from the students coming from data science background or maybe like computer science background, then we'll make it open for the students from journalism and mass communication. So that's, and why reservation 5-5? Because we wanted to have that diverse group. And since it is a new media communication, we'll be talking about the technology a lot. So we feel that the students coming from, applied arts, also like those who have done graphic designing, maybe like, some animation course before, or like coming from data science and computer science, they will enrich the course. They will bring their knowledge and their experiences, and that will be a good thing to have that, diverse group in the classroom. Age restriction, no age restriction for this. And if we, the starting date in the sense that the counseling, registration for counseling will start on 28th May. I'm sure that all of you are waiting for that particular day. And the last date is 6th June. So this is about, the eligibility and how you can apply and how you can register for this particular course. Last thing is because we did receive a lot of questions regarding the pedagogy of the course, how we're going to transact this particular course. Of course, like we have a lot of good, excellent internal faculty here, but faculty members here, but will also depend upon the faculty members from the industry. They'll also come. For some of the papers, we have decided to collaborate with the industry. So for example, when you're talking about educational communication, so we'll collaborate with, one organization that has expertise in educational communication. Or when we are talking about data analytics, we'll collaborate with one organization who has expertise in, data analytics, those who are working in this particular field. So they'll be coming, they're already involved in the, development of the curriculum, but, they'll be coming, they'll be teaching you, and you'll have a lot of immersive experience also. So in that case, that the teaching will happen in the classroom, but at the same time, will try our level best that you go to that industry where the animation work is happening, or where the visual effects is happening, or maybe like educational product are being prepared. So you be part of that, have that immersive experience, see how things happen on ground, and bring back that particular knowledge. So that's the pedagogy which we are looking at for most of our elective papers. For discipline based, like a lot of guest faculty from the industry, they'll come, they'll teach, and of course like our own very experienced faculty members at IIMC, they'll be teaching different papers. So that's all from my side about the course and of course like the pedagogy. Now let me see like the questions which I have received. So what are the key differences between some of the questions which I have received? I'll take those questions, and okay, I can see those questions here also. So yes, good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. Good morning, right? Okay, that's very good. Yes, Manmohan, you have some questions. You can type that question. Now, the first question is, what are the key differences between the new MA program and the previous PGD courses in terms of curriculum and focus? I've already talked about that. The PGD courses are there. Of course, like all our PGD courses are excellent courses. But when you're talking about, MA program, that's a 2-year program. And especially like when you do MA program, for those who are interested in higher studies, many a times, and of course, I would like to tell you like why MA program. Many a times it happens that, when you apply for public sector undertaking, right? Or maybe like government sector. So they ask for, MA degree. They ask for that, and that's an eligibility criteria. So one is, MA programs fulfills that. And second is, all the MA programs which we had started, the two which we had started earlier, and the third one which we are starting right now, they are niche programs. These are the programs which are not being offered. I'm not saying anywhere in the country, but very few universities or organizations, they are offering that particular job and course. So the whole point is that we are trying to find out what are the gaps which these PG diploma programs are not able to fill, and we have taken those particular things. For example, in our case, the new media communications, we know that the creator economy, or we know that social media monitoring. We know like there are very few universities and colleges who are offering courses in animation or visual effects. So this is the gap which we are actually filling, right? So that's how MA program is different from PG diploma program, which we were offering earlier. But at the same time, I'll say that, even like the PG diploma course, which we are offering right now, in fact, like we were offering PG diploma in digital media, all are, excellent program. The only thing is that, so for example, when we were offering PG diploma in digital media, every time we felt that time crunch, in the sense if I was teaching data journalism, or if we were teaching social media monitoring, or maybe like we were teaching how to build online campaigns, or building strategy for someone. So we always used to have that time crunch, the paucity of time. Because of that, we were not able to go into the detail of one particular subject. So new MA program, which means 2 years, actually gives us a lot of time to handle one subject in a very holistic way, in a very comprehensive way. So that's the difference which I see. Now, what is the eligibility of this course? Eligibility, I've told you, but once again, I'll say that it's the Indian nationals possessing bachelor's degree award by recognized university in any discipline with 55% marks, and PGT scores in mass communication and journalism, data science and artificial intelligence, computer science and information technology, and applied arts. So that's the eligibility for the course, but no age restriction. Vamika, this was for you. First of all, how this course is different from PGDM digital media. Okay, I'll take all your questions one by one because you've put in a lot of efforts, which I really like. If someone pursue MA New Media, can he work in All India Radio, News TV too, besides social media and online platform? Yes, certainly. In the sense that, as I said before, when you're talking about MA program in New Media Communication, we'll be talking about, we're talking about convergence, right? We're talking about audio, which means how to create podcast, different format of audio programs, how to create news bulletin for screens. I'm not saying television, but I'm saying for screens. So if you have understood that, then you'll be able to work for the radio also, you'll be able to work for television also, and you'll be, of course, like, will be able to work for social media and online platform, because we are teaching you everything. And if you would have listened to the entire session which we had, second year, we have this digital storytelling and multimedia content creation, which means we are telling our students how to create content for the different platforms. So it's not only about the social media platforms, or not only about the different tech platforms, but also, like, what kind of format is required for radio, what kind of format is required for television. So that is also we cover in our course. So that's not an issue. They can get job like in All India Radio or News TV. Some of my digital media students, they're already working there. Now, question number two. And what about job profile and placements with average package? Please articulate, ma'am. Okay. So job profiles, as I said, data in data analytics, of course, like you have data specialists, you have social media managers, you have content specialists, you have content creators. The moment you get into 2D animation or gaming, like you have people who are creating those games and creating those particular products. And as I said that, in the first semester only, like we have two tracks wherein we are talking about online journalism, talking about digital public relations and corporate communications. So there you have, all the options available for you, in the field of journalism, in the field of public relations, in the field of corporate communications, in the field of digital marketing. So you have you will have an added advantage in the sense that you would have covered or studied all the latest tools which are being used in the media industry right now. So that's the job profile. Now coming to placement, it's to package. See, it totally depends upon a student. There are students, digital media students, who are working with the Election Commission of India from the last 3 years. And of course, like their package is like around, they get 50,000 per month. So any student who pass out from IIMC, like the average package, I would say, would be between 6 to 10 lakhs per annum, right? So it's like that. Uh, but you need to understand, this is a communication industry. So I'm talking about the comms industry. But in this also, for example, if you get into public relations or maybe like corporate communication, might be a little higher. But towards the end of it, it all depends upon the students and the job market at that point of time. Sometimes we have seen post COVID, because at the time of the COVID, people were working from home. People might had lost their jobs and all, but post COVID, suddenly like office opened up. There were a lot of jobs, and these employer was ready to pay well to our students. We were not hoping at that point of time, but it was surprising. It happened at that point of time. So it totally depends upon the candidates also. It totally depends upon the employer also. It also depends upon the job role also. Then can he also work for government political party PSUs apart from private sector? Definitely. This is like one added advantage, and especially for the government sector. For example, there are a lot of state government who advertise for their state public relations machinery, right? So if you have master's degree, you have an added advantage. Earlier, our students, they used to do diploma from our institute, and after that they used to do masters like from somewhere else. because they wanted to get into that government sector. So here, that particular problem is solved in the sense that if you have MA program, so you'll be able to apply for the government PSUs, and of course, like political parties, if you want to work in political communication, so you can apply for that. So with all this, will he get benefited from this course if he becomes independent creator owing to focuses on social media and entirely oriented to online? And okay, so see, this is of course like online digital media, but as I said that we are covering different aspects and different domains as well. But if someone wants to get into or wants to be a part of creator economy, see, I see a huge scope there. And as I said before, the government of India, like they have promised that they'll be investing around $1 billion in this particular industry. So yes, there is a scope. You can upskill yourself, and we've seen in the past, there are number of students, and I've given you the number how many creators they are able to monetize their content. But the thing is that you have to put in a lot of time in that, and you also need to have patience. You cannot start a YouTube channel and the second or third day you say that, okay, tell me like how do I monetize that? Yes, you need to work towards it, but it takes time. I'll just give you one example. At IMC we had set up incubation center, and this is something which we did last year, and keeping this in mind that the students have a lot of ideas, and their ideas need to be promoted, and they should be given a platform wherein they can showcase their product somewhere. uh, we've announced the result. The second team is from Izol, right? And the name of the team is Shambites. And they're the one who started their own platform while they were studying, this particular course. And this is something which we encourage. If you're studying a communication course, or like if you're enrolled in journalism course, so it's good to start early. I mean, you cannot wait for that program to get over to start working in that particular area. So Shambites, I mean, that's a YouTube channel they had started, and they are telling stories from the Northeast, and they are monetizing their content also. So that's how we see it. Of course, like there are I won't say that someone is going to hire you, but yes, even now, since the field is doing so well, there are a number of creators who have done extremely well. Now they are actually creating their own teams. So in that also, you can work as a script writer, you can work as a content developer, producer. So these are the things which are happening, and this is the field which is evolving. Oh, you have written so many questions. Okay, so let me take questions from others also. Question 4, I'll do that. If someone wants to set up a startup, will this course teach and help out if he takes this course and completes it, and put some light on waves and creator economy too? Okay, that's your last question. Definitely, if someone is doing this particular course, they can set up their own startup. This is something which we encourage. I'm really very thankful to our Vice Chancellor. Last year, as I said before, we started this incubation center. And this whole idea is that we really want you people to start something of your own while you're doing the course. Because while you're doing the course, you have a very strong and robust support system, in the sense that you have so many students around you. They can help you in creating that particular content. At IMC, those who participate in incubation center or ideathon, something which we did last year. So we provide them that space. We have incubation center, uh, co-working space, plug and play. You just bring your system there, and if you want to work on something, you are given that opportunity to work, right? It's just that you have to take permission from your course director, and then the space should be available at that point of time. And we also, if you participate in Ideathon, this is what we had done last time. So there were a lot of teams, there was a lot of interest in Ideathon. And in fact, like not only from our students from IMC, but the students from IITs and IIMs also. So there a lot of team had applied for that. After presentation, we shortlisted, around 14 teams. And what we did, we provided mentor to those teams, and these mentors help them in refining their project, and then again they pitch that project in front of number of people. And of course, like we will be giving prize money for that. But we won't stop it there. So whosoever had won, we have told those students that, see, the space at IIMC, which is incubation center, will be available for you. Just book it, come, use it. For 1 year, you don't have to pay anything. So if you want to organize a meeting, you want to come and work there, so that possibility is there. So this is the kind of ecosystem which we are actually creating to promote startups, and especially like in media and entertainment sector. Thank you for asking so many questions. Now I have Gaurav. Ma'am, as the digital media scenario is constantly evolving, how will a preset syllabus incorporate it? Will there be a special guest lecture to tell us about the new technologies? Okay, so Gaurav, this is not a preset syllabus in the sense that, we have reworked on the syllabus which we had earlier, and we had incorporated, each and everything which we could at this point of time, which means like the something which is latest we have incorporated in our syllabus. The whole idea, the team from new media department went to ways, was to identify, to know what is happening latest in the field and try and incorporate that in our syllabus. Yes, I totally agree with you that, for each and every subject we might not be having in-house faculty, but the best part is, like, we do invite a lot of people from the industry to transact curriculum. So definitely, like, if in case we feel that there's something new which is happening and we need to invite someone from outside, which we usually do, so we do that. Also, if there's something, right now we have finalized the curriculum, and maybe like after 4 years something new happens, so it's not that we won't be teaching you that. So that's the whole point, and at IIMC, like, we are little flexible in that sense that, of course, we won't be able to incorporate that in the curriculum, but we can always have a special session on that. So that won't be an issue. We can always have that. So it's not a preset syllabus. Like, we have totally uh, you know changed the curriculum, keeping in view the industry demands. What is the medium of this course, Mohammed? The medium of this course, and now, pardon me, it's bilingual. मुझे हिंदी में भी बोलना चाहिए था, but like in a flow, I just like spoke in English. But जो course है, content है, it will be bilingual. जितने भी faculty आपको यहाँ पर जो भी पढ़ाएंगे, चाहे वो आपके in-house faculty हैं, चाहे वो industry से आते हैं, उनको हम यही बोलते हैं कि जो भी हमारे कोर्सेज में स्टूडेंट्स पढ़ रहे हैं, वो दोनों भाषाओं में उस कोर्स को पढ़ना चाहेंगे। कुछ इंग्लिश में कंफर्टेबल होते हैं, कुछ हिंदी में कंफर्टेबल होते हैं, तो हम लोग इसको एज अ बाइलिंगुअल कोर्स बोलते हैं। बट जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि कुछ टर्म्स और टर्मिनोलॉजी ऐसी है जो किसी भी फील्ड के अंदर वो होता है कि आप उसको फिर एज इट इज रखना चाहोगे, तो वहां पर फिर भी आपको उस चीज को हिंदी में अच्छे से समझाया जाएगा. So it's a bilingual program. So that's the answer to your question. My daughter has scored 149 score in CUT PG. Can she get admission in any program of the institute? Mrs. Sharma, what you have to do is you just register for counseling, and I don't know about like whether she'll be able to, but you should try. So the only thing which I can say is like we are starting from 28, and just register for counseling, and I can wish all the best to you and to your daughter. And then we have, ma'am, I have some question. Industry exposure of NMC. Okay, industry exposure of NMC. I think I have covered that when I said that, some of the papers will be offering in collaboration with the industry, and will be providing immersive experience to our students. We've done that thing in the past for the digital media course. I actually send my students for a week or for 2 weeks to, a certain organization. They stay there and they learn the craft of, whatever that particular organization specialize in. So this is one. Second, very important thing which we had did in the past and which was like beneficial to our student was that we started this mentorship program. Now, the mentorship program is like what we do, we pair our students one student with one industry expert, and that industry expert is supposed to mentor our student. So that's the kind of exposure our student gets. So for example, you have not entered the industry, but you have one senior journalist, or you have one very senior person in the public relations or corporate communication mentoring you. So what happens is that we teach a lot of things to our students, but many a times it's very important for students to know what is expected from them when they join industry. And I think the industry experts, they'll be able to tell that particular thing better. So we pair them, and these mentors, like they handhold these students. They have one-on-one sessions with those particular students. They take them to certain meetings so that they get that first-hand experience. They take these students to industry events also. So that's the kind of industry exposure which we give. And of course, like, there are a lot of visit to media houses, to different organizations. And as I said, that we have some of the collaboration pipeline which we have not announced yet, but yes, there's a lot of scope of industry exposure. And now, is there any type of filmmaking, content creation type things? As I told you, yes, digital media content creation is there. This course fees, which is an important thing, and I'm sure that many of you must be thinking about this. Per semester is 18,000. I'm talking about the tuition fees. It's more than other MA programs, and the reason why it is more than other MA program is because of the kind of infrastructure which we provide. The kind of class which you will get once you join this course is a high-tech classroom. You'll have access to computers from the time you come to the institute till the time you leave the institute. You have access to computers. You have access to internet. You have access to different softwares. So that's why it is priced little higher than other MA programs, but it's because of the kind of infrastructure we are providing. Which companies are looking for NMC graduates, and what is minimum package we should expect? I think you should expect the maximum package, but the minimum package, of course, like, there are a lot of content creation job. Some of my students are working with PTI, Election Commission of India, I've already told. Some are working with public relations agencies. So the minimum, I won't say, but the average package, as I said earlier, like, it's from 6 to 7 to maybe like 8-9 lakhs per annum. So it's like that. Is it open to international students? No, it is not. I'm sorry, Mike. It's not open to international students as of now. It is for Indian nationals, as I said earlier, but maybe like in future we might have something for international students, but at this point of time I have to say no to this. Sachin is there. Good morning, Sachin. uh, Eligibility criteria for enrolling in this course are students from non-media backgrounds are eligible. Yes, non-media backgrounds are eligible, as I said, that if they have done graduation in any discipline, but they had to appear for that exam, the CUT PG exam, for journalism, mass comm, for data science, artificial intelligence, computer science, and applied arts. So these are the areas from which we will be taking our students. Is there any subject like SEO and SEM as well? Rashmi, yes, definitely. Like the first course, which is like your discipline-based elective course. So the first one is like digital marketing course. So in that we have search engine optimization. That's part of the digital marketing. But as we know, that search engine optimization and marketing is equally important nowadays in the field of journalism also. So both the courses will be having search engine optimization subject or modules. What kind of career opportunities can student expect after completing this year? I think I've told that. What opportunity does this for the startups? As I said, they can participate in incubation center at IIMC, but at the same time, while they are doing the course, and especially like this paper on media entrepreneurship, and of course like the second one which was on creator economy, we'll be having a lot of people from the industry will be coming us. We'll be also introducing our students to the different funding opportunities which are available to start anything of your own. So that's what we are going to do. We'll be inviting those people so that you get to know about the entire startup ecosystem and how do you start something of your own. Considering that the digital media PDG was one of the costliest program with the transition to the new media communication, will there any changes in the fee structure? Fee structure, as I said, again, this is like priced higher than other MA programs. But as I said, it's because of the infrastructure and because of the facilities we provide. But if you look at the kind of MA courses which are being offered anywhere else, I think 80,000 per semester is something which students can afford. I mean, so that's the fee structure which we have right now. Ma'am, PhD भी शुरू करवाओ. Okay. So Mandeep is saying, ma'am, PhD भी शुरू करवाओ. Yes, like we'll be starting PhD very soon. I think from this academic year we have released this thing that we'll be starting PhD. So please apply for that, Mandeep. Bindu saying, I got 195 and I'm confused which course I should choose, MA or PhD. Okay, it totally depends, Bindu, like what you want to do. uh, you want to go for niche courses. You have media business management, you have strategic communication, you have new media communication. You need to figure out where your interest lies. If you are interested in social media technology designing, then of course like new media communication is a good option for you. If you are interested in maybe business part of it, management part of it, then the business studies. If you are interested in strategic communication, so that's a course for you. PGD and this, it totally depends. If you think that you just have 1 year, do PGD. But it's better to go for MA program, because in MA program you still have a choice, right? In PGD you have to leave after 1 year. In MA program you still have a choice. I mean, you can leave if you want to, but you can continue if you think you would like to continue with that. So it totally depends upon you. How much time do you want to give for that particular course? Course fees, I have already told, ma'am, who got 50% can also apply MA New Media. Okay, so the minimum was 55 in graduation. This is what I was told by our controller of examination. So I think we'll go by 55 only, but I think we'll have one more session by our controller of examination. So you can send these questions, or you can ask these questions to him also. Again, thanks, ma'am. You have articulated well, made us understand. Thank you so much. Is this course made for students of arts background? Yes. Ram Tiwari, yes, this course is made for the students of art background also. If you have graduation in any field, you can apply. Even like if you had taken applied arts, or you had given exam for applied arts, which is the code for that is HUQP03, you can appear for, you can register for counseling for this particular course. Okay. Are there practical components like internship? Yes. Rashmi, yes, there will be an internship towards the end of the first semester. And then, of course, like real world projects. And this is something which we usually do in most of our courses, wherein we bring in, real world projects, and we ask our students to participate in that. And that immersive experience, which I talked about earlier, is exactly the same. What kind of career support and placement services does IIMC provide to students upon completion of the MA in New Media? Okay, so the placement supports, we do have a placement cell here, which is working very hard so that the students, they get a job towards the end of their PG diploma and MA program. So that's the support system which we have right now. Second, I told you about that mentorship program. Many of my students, they've got job through that mentorship program, because they're working with mentor for 6 or 7 months. And if you are able to build that repo, and if that person thinks that you'll be a good resource for that organization, sometimes it happens that they get a job before that placement season starts. So this is the kind of resources or the facilities which we or opportunities we provide to our students. Bikramjeet, ma'am, I've completed my PG diploma this year. Can I join MA program course this year? You won't be able to, Bikramjeet, because then it'll be the repeat of what you have learned last year. I'm sure that the next year will have a lateral entry, so be there next year. Hello, ma'am. As you have said, there are reservations for students with bachelor's in mass comm, data science, etc. Then can a BA sociology student apply for this? You can apply, but the thing is that you should have appeared for that PGCUT exam for any of those subjects which I had mentioned before, right? So, but anyone, you could have bachelor's in sociology, that's not an issue. How many seats for the EWS category? We'll be releasing the entire metrics, so you'll be able to get this information from there. Ma'am, if we look from job perspective, PGD or MA, which one is better option? As I said earlier, both are good. It totally depends, your interest and the time you have in hand, right? For example, you want to complete your education, you want to have that degree in hand so that you can start applying for the government jobs, for PSUs. I think you should go for MA program. If you are a kind of person who would, after completing PG diploma, straight away you want to get into the industry, then you should apply for, PG diploma, whether it's journalism, whether it's radio and television. So that the choice is with you. But as I said earlier, MA program gives you that flexibility in the sense that if you want to leave after 1 year, you will get PG diploma in any which ways. So it totally depends upon you. So I have a strong command over Hindi language and I'm comfortable with English too. I have interest in Hindi cinema, script writing, how this new media program help in aspects of cinema or filmmaking. As I said, not cinema as such, but we do have, one course, one paper on script writing. We do have a module on documentary filmmaking. So if you have interest in cinema, frankly speaking, I would suggest that you should try in FTII or SRFTII. That's a better fit for you, or you're better fit for them. But here, of course, like we'll be talking about, digital storytelling, and nowadays, of course, everybody wants to consume content which is shorter, which is more crisper, and that's more challenging than creating a content of 2 hours or so. So it totally depends upon you. But if you're totally interested in films and cinema, then I think FTII and SRFTII is better choice for you. Ma'am, I'm an arts background student and given only the 17 exam, am I eligible? See, you have to appear for like these 4 exams to be eligible for this particular course, as I said earlier. So if you have not given this time, never mind, maybe like next time. You have, just a moment. So that's true, Ram Tiwari. If you've given SOQP 17, so that's a mass communication and journalism course, right? So yeah, you can apply for this. You can register for counseling. Ma'am, on off-topic questions, what's your thought towards new IIMC's Dhenkanal course, corporate communication and brand management relevance? Well, okay, so I think that's a very good course. As I, and much needed in Bhubaneswar, in Orissa. Like we have a strong presence of like one PR agencies. We have strong presence of PSUs, and definitely like there's demand for jobs. And see, at IIMC we have this one program which is called PG Diploma in Advertising and Public Relations, and there are a lot of students who apply for this course. I think we receive maximum number of entries for this course, and the seats are limited. We just have 77 seats there, but we know that there are a lot of students who have an aptitude for public relations, corporate communications. I think for them they have another choice, And I have seen the curriculum. I'm part of their board of studies. The kind of curriculum which they have developed, I mean, that's excellent, very industry friendly. There are a lot of industry experts also who are part of, that particular curriculum. So I think you should go ahead if you have interest in corporate communication, public relations. Don't give it a second thought. You should register for counseling and you should opt for that particular course. Ma'am, is going into regional campus for this program worth it? I mean, will there be any compromise in exposure in regional campus? No. See, you should, if you get, admission in, either Jammu, Aizawl, or Kottayam, uh, this is something which I am observing right now. At the time of the placement season, I see like the students who are, studying in, all these regional campuses, they do extremely well. I have seen, a lot of work from the students who are studying in the regional campuses, and especially like all the campuses. I can give you example of incubation center because I'm chairperson of incubation center, and we just concluded Ideathon. Now, first three positions are taken by the students from regional centers. The first one is from Dhenkanal, second is like from Jammu, and the third one I think from, I mean, I'm not very sure, but like, they've done extremely good job. So it's not that, it will be a compromise. We try our level best that, they'll also get the same exposure. They also get, the same type of infrastructure in the regional campuses also. So it won't be a compromise. Please go ahead and register for counseling, and if you get one particular center, just go there, because it's very important to have that exposure of the regional campuses also. I'm really impressed by the students from Aizawl, the one who had created that sham bites. you know that's how you are going to tell the stories which are lying in the different parts of our country, and that's what a job of a communicator is. So please go. I mean, you'll have a different exposure, in all these centers, and it will be, culturally rich also. Ajay, ma'am, I want to go in academics. So what should I opt? MA course or PG? Is diploma course gives the surety of, okay. See, if you want to go into academics, I think you should do master's program. I mean, for that, I'm very clear that if you want to go for academics, then you need to clear your net exam. You need to enroll yourself in PhD. So it makes sense to do MA rather than PhD in this case. So I think without thinking, you should go for that. Harishankar Soni, yeah, thank you so much, Harishankar, for putting it out there. So I forgot like one team. Yes, C4D was from Dhenkanal first, Shambites from Aizawl, Spark Crew from Jammu, and as you can see, like all these three teams were from different centers. So we also, from our side, encourage students from different centers. We try to handhold. We do have very good regional directors, good faculty members there. Sometimes the faculty members from here are also sent to the regional centers. So yeah, they're doing a very good job. Okay, thank you so much. I think I have taken all the questions, and that's all from my side. What you can do is, if in case you have any more question, my email ID is there on website. You can write a mail to me if you want, but make sure that you're writing a mail or sending mail to that gov email ID, and I'll be responding to all other questions which I might not have taken right now. So the two more had come, so let me see. I'll just quickly. Ma'am, I have secured 228 marks in mass communication, and I'm from science background. Just a minute. Background, little bit of MSc. Okay. So, Manmohan, if you are confused between MA New Media and MA Strategic Communication, and you're from science background, see what I'll say, both are good courses. If you want to explore a little more when it comes to technology, then this is the one. If you want to explore more about strategic communication, diplomacy, international relations, so that's the course for you. So just do one thing, look at the syllabus or the course outline for each of the course and take your decision, right? So that's what I can tell you. um, Ma'am, in EJ, we only learn about print. We'll also learn a different aspect. No, it's not like in EJ. See, nowadays it's all about convergence. Even if it is like English journalism, PG diploma in English journalism, I won't say that you only learn about print. Yes, of course, like there's a lot of focus on print, but at the same time, you learn about the new technologies, new developments, the new ways of packaging of content for different platforms. For example, you also learn about podcast, you also learn about mobile journalism, you also have a paper on new media there. So it's not that only print. And there are a lot of English journalism students who get jobs in in public relations, corporate communication, television industry, even like in new media industry. So it's not that it's only limited to print. We do have other papers also. So depending upon your interest, you can focus more on that particular area. Okay, many. Just a minute. I think I Ma'am, can we get detailed syllabus of the course? Yeah, sure, you'll get the detailed syllabus of the course very soon. We just had another round of Board of Studies. We received one letter from UGC wherein we were asked to tweak or make certain modifications in the curriculum, more practical, more industry friendly. So we just had that, and we'll just revise it and we'll share it. Uh, Also want to know how accessible, inclusive the Canal campus. Will we get any caretaker? Okay, for PWD, how inclusive most of our campuses, we try our level best that they are accessible and inclusive. Um, uh, but you're talking about Dhenkanal, I'm sure. What you can do is like you can again in this case write an email to the regional director there, so and get more information on this. Ma'am, can we get it? Okay, this I've done. Many colleges already start their counseling process, and in news also we've got to know about them. Start in July. Is IIMC also going to start in July? Uh, Mostly like our session starts in on 1st of August. So we'll be starting from August 1st. That's the timeline which I'm aware of. But if in case there's any change, you can always ask or write a mail to COE. Yes, there's a brief syllabus which is available on MNU Media on a website. So that's what we have made available right now. And as I said, that you'll find the detailed one soon, but I've already taken you through the detailed syllabus. So thank you very much for being there, asking so many questions. I'm sure that many of you have interest in new media communications. So I wish you all the very best. Last point which I would like to make, which no one asked, but I thought that someone will ask that. Since this particular course is being offered in all this, not all, but like 4 centers, we'll be having counseling, but unlike other MA programs, we won't be having interviews for this. So it's just through like the rank and the marks you have scored in PUG at your exam, CUT exam, and then the counseling process, you'll get admission to this course. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Manmohan. I'm really happy that you liked this session. And I think my mail has already been written there. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. You can write a mail. And in between, if you want to come to campus, see our campus, drop in. You can have a chat with me, my colleagues in my department, Dr. Pavan Kundal, who had helped me in developing this curriculum. And of course, we'll be very happy to meet you all. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you.